There's like a camera, so you put it onto there.
Can I invoice this for you? $200 delivery fee?
We've been doing it for other kids. Okay. And this year, YouTube channel, we threw it out.
Well, I think that barn up there. Buck, buck, buck. It was just kids jumping. This,
And this is a huge benefit for us. So we're happy to do it because we're always scared. So it's nice to get from the hotel to the home.
and that's where we're at this year. I we started grabbing. So we had to go to all the leaves. Oh, I went to Mankato. Walk here. And so I was driving there now. But yeah, it definitely got worse when we were sewer than it was.
Yeah, we were in Iowa this weekend. 10 inches of snow maybe? It was rough stuff.
Funny.
Yeah. I'm glad they got it.
What did we get here?
I heard 6, but I don't know if that's official. It was more than I thought. We pulled that much snow. It's like, oh, that is what they were talking.
Typical on there, blowing and stuff, blowing and stuff. But the next morning, I went out, got up, got one, but I didn't even a quarter inch out here. And it was kind of flurry, and all of a sudden it opened up. Oh, now
Yeah, we were in the thick of it in Lorenz, and then I got a text from sure, I would think. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, go.
traffic was a struggle for me. I'll give them that. Because it was, were, as we left town, you could tell it was yeah, they would have had to leave at 5 in the morning to make the game. And
Not worth it. Right decision.
well, thank you.
You bet.
Mankato versus Minnesota River. On the ice for Mankato is Christensen, Phillips, Young, Moss, and Graff. That's Casper, rather, not Christensen. Casper's shot in the glove, goalie's glove for a whistle. Young lines up for the face-off. Comes back to Graff. Graff passes over to Casper. Just out of his reach, Casper skates back to the corner. Lost his stick. Graff steals, keeps it in to Phillips. Phillips' shot deflected off of the Minnesota River defense and into the goalie's glove. On the ice now for Mankato, Christensen, Raska, Frederick. Zender and McCann. Puck's loose out front. Comes to the corner. That's Zender. Passing back to Christensen, who's playing defense today. Zender playing center. Little flip-flop there. Raska now has it, skates it across into the zone. His shot off the goalie's shoulder, up off the glass. Christensen gets a stick on it, comes back to the Minnesota River defense. They'll get it out of the zone. Knocked forward by Mankato. Puck's loose in the neutral zone. Minnesota River gets it into the zone for the first time this game. That's Frederick. He passes up to Zender. Zender has it knocked free. Minnesota River now across neutral zone. Their shot quite a bit wide. We got Diener in the goal today. Puck comes back to Graf. Graf slings it up to Zender, can't hold on. Frederick picks it up, gets it across the blue line, sends in a shot off the defender's skates. Nielsen made a move, got a little too close. Goalie was able to reach out and grab it. 12:16 left in the first period. 0-0. Nielsen, Holmes, Christensen, Raska, and I think that's Moss. No, not Moss. That's Liam. Christensen shot off the goalie. Rebound. Pushed in. Deflected. Comes back to Liam. Goes off his skate. Bounces to the corner. Christensen sends out the shot in. Deflected. Comes back to Raska. Raska's shot goes wide. Back to Christensen. Christensen, no stick, playing a little soccer, stolen by Minnesota River. Minnesota River gets it into our zone, but we steal it back. Graf coming on the ice. That's Holmes chasing it down in the corner. Takes it behind the net, passes up to Christensen. Christensen bringing it through the neutral zone, has it taken from him. Puck will come back to our defensive zone. Graf gets it, sends it cross ice, can't connect. Puck's loose at the red line. Young making a move across the neutral zone. Passes back. That's Todd. Knocked to the corner. Todd goes to get it. Off the boards to Moss. Moss has some space. Knocked free by Minnesota River. Casper gets it. His shot off the goalie. Puck will deflect back to the boards. Casper working for it and against the boards. Moss comes to help. Moss gets it. We're out of the zone. Stolen by Minnesota River. Graf pokes it free. Zender with the puck, shoots off the goalie's blocker, knocked to the side. Good pass to the middle, deflected. This is Moss back to Roscoe. Roscoe's shot off the goalie. Minnesota River gets the rebound. They get it to the neutral zone. Frederick coming in, knocks it free. Puck ends up on Roscoe's stick. He will dump it. It'll swing back behind the net. Zender picks it up to Moss. That's McCann, rather. Back to Roscoe. Roscoe's shot off the defender's stick. Frederick with the rebound. Shot deflected to the side. Christensen now with it in the neutral zone. Passes up to McCann. McCann can't hang on. Stolen by Minnesota River. Frederick got a stick on it, knocked it free, but Minnesota River still in charge. They try to dump it. Back to Christensen. Christensen dumps. This one's going to be an icing call. 8:17 remaining in the period. Tied 0-0. Holmes, Nielsen, Graff, Liam, and who am I missing? Casper on the ice. Back to Casper at the neutral zone. He passes up to Nielsen, stolen by Minnesota River defense. They'll get it into our defensive zone. They take a shot that's deflected wide of the net, picked up by Casper behind the net. Holmes trailing, passes it up to Casper. Ooh, too far with the camera, sorry. Nielsen brings it out of the zone into our offensive zone. He takes a shot deflected wide. Christensen steals the pass, still has it, knocked to the side by Minnesota River. Christensen against the boards, knocked free. It'll swing back to Moss, who passes it up to Phillips. Phillips pass back to Moss. Moss backhand pass to Phillips. Good move, knocked free by the Minnesota defense. Good puck movement. Aiden just missed that one at the blue line. Minnesota River's shot deflected off of Dean's stick to the corner. Young passing, nobody's there. This will be an icing call. 6:36 remaining in the first period. Zender gets it off the face-off. Comes back to Graff. Graff passes up, can't quite get to it. Their shot, deflected by Dean. Have a good save. Loose puck picked up by Zender. Zender makes a move to the side, has Frederick in the middle, passes just a little behind, and Minnesota River is able to knock it free. Knocked free by Mankato defense. We're getting a hook. A call. Looks like Trayvon is coming in for hooking. So this will set up the Mankato penalty kill. We've got Zender, Christensen, Roska, and is that Moss? And McCann. So Minnesota's River's shot went high, rebounded back, went to the side, and the net came off, I believe. So we'll readjust the net and start fresh here. .542 left in the period, minute 13 left in the penalty kill. Once again, that penalty was Trayvon for a hook call. Christensen with it in the corner, taking his time, weaving through the defense. Has some space. Shot just off the goalie's glove and deflected wide. Would have went in otherwise, I believe. Loose puck out front. Christensen got a stick on it. Popped back to Minnesota River. Their pass is just a little errant. It'll come back for an icing. 39 seconds remaining in the penalty kill. On the ice for Mankato is Casper Graff, Moss, and Phillip. Nope, Young. That's an icing call. We'll keep the same line. Knocked forward by Casper. It goes wide of the net. Comes back to the boards. Minnesota River with it. They send it across. Casper keeps it in. He makes a move, charges toward the corner, passes across to Moss. His shot covered by the goalie. 11 seconds remaining in the penalty kill. 4:40 left in the period. We've got Moss, Young, Casper Graff still. Moss back to Casper. Casper's shot off the goalie and knocked out. Moss putting the pressure on. Minnesota River is able to clear it. No icing called. Graff chases it down, brings it back behind the net, has some space, passes it up just out of reach of Phillips. Minnesota River with it now. Casper back with it. He sends it up to Phillips. Phillips across the midline dumps it. That'll trickle in back behind the net. Mankato's full strength. Ooh. Roughing call. And the Minnesota River players getting just a little excited, knocked down Moss, and he'll come in for a minute 30. So tides have turned. We are now on the power play. Holmes, Christensen, Nielsen, Raska, and Liam. Holmes' shot goes off the defender's skate, back to the corner. Nielsen sends it to the middle, knocked free. Comes back to Holmes. Holmes passes back. Minnesota River now in charge. Minnesota River down the side. Raska able to get there. Steals it back. Back to Minnesota River for the first goal of the game. So pass stolen by Minnesota River in our defensive zone for the first goal. 3:17 left in the period. 54 seconds remaining in the power play. Casper makes a move, passes it to the middle. McCann was there, couldn't connect on that pass. Loose puck picked up by McCann. McCann out front, pops it just over the net, off the glass. Good pass back to McCann. McCann with another shot off the blocker, pushed to the side. Casper now wide in front of the net. Good barrage by Mankato. Minnesota River is full strength. Casper brings it into the zone. Splits the D, his shot off the goalie skates. Comes back to Rosca. Rosca's shot low, deflected by the defense. Young takes the shot, covered by the goalie. Minute 41 remaining in the first period. Minnesota River up 1-0. Young, Moss, Phillips, Christensen, and Rosca. Knocked free by Christensen. Minnesota River able to knock it forward, but for an offsides. Christensen up to Moss. Moss into the zone, but stolen by Minnesota River. They pass it around. Rosca gets a stick on it, knocks it back to the boards. Moss chases it down. He's met by two Bulldogs. Christensen now against the boards. Christensen back to Nielsen, stolen by Minnesota River. Offsides. 17.9 seconds left in the period. We've got Nielsen, Liam, Holmes, Graff, and Casper. Three seconds left. That's the end of the first period. Mankato down 1-0 to Minnesota River. Starting off the second period, we have Frederick, Zender, McCann, Casper, and Graff. Graff with in the corner, passing McCann, knocked free by Minnesota River. We get it out of the zone. Zender with it, has some space. Frederick with it. His shot stolen by the goalie. It's almost like we got too clustered up there. Nielsen, Liam, Holmes, Christensen, and Roska. Christensen with it in front. His shot, glove saved by the goalie. Roska knocks it forward, back to Minnesota River. They'll push it to the corner, swing it around. Holmes putting on the defense, comes back to Christensen. His shot goes wide off the boards, back to Roska. Roska's shot off the boards. A couple of shots in the last little bit here, wide. Christensen in the middle, passes back to Liam. Liam's backhand deflected. Nielsen keeping it in. Ooh. Christensen now splits the D, has it stolen. Roska keeps it. His shot off of Liam. Ouch. Another shot off the goalie. And Minnesota River's able to clear. This would be an icing call. Mankato definitely winning the shots on goal battle here, but their goalie's doing a heck of a job. 12:49 left in the second period, down 1. We'll get a change. We got Phillips, Young, Moss, Graff, and Casper. Graff gets a stick on it, stops the threat, passes up to Young. Young, collision with Minnesota River defense. Puck's loose in the neutral zone. Graff pushes it forward. Minnesota River comes up with it. However, they've got a breakaway. Graff gets a stick on it, and Dean blocks the shot. Puck still loose, picked up by Casper. Casper out of the zone. Across the neutral zone, up to Moss. Good pass. Good positioning. Just couldn't hang on. Comes back to Phillips. Phillips puts a shot on it, knocked free. Casper's shot knocked to the side. Young gets it. Puts a shot on it right in front of the net. Goalie's able to glove it for the save. We got Phillips, Moss, Young, Raska, and Christensen on the ice. Christian with the steal. His pass goes to Minnesota River. Good back check to get that back. Christensen now with it. He'll skate around the defense, makes a move to the middle, knocked free, and into the goalie's glove. Frederick Zender, McCann, Graff, and Todd. Zender's shot goes wide to the boards. Back to Zender. Zender with it behind the net. Stolen by Minnesota River. They take it to the boards. Good defense by McCann and Frederick to slow it down. It's knocked free. Graff putting on the stop. Their shot covered by Dean. Whoa, it's not covered. Still going. And Dean gets it on the reach for a whistle. 10:55 left in the second period. Minnesota River's shot, glove saved by Dean. Dean's having a great game so far. This is Trayvon with it. I think we're getting a call here. Trip. Trayvon gets taken down on that breakaway, splitting the defense, and got his stick out. Got his legs. Mankato's second power play of the night. McCann Zender. Is that Phillips? Raska and Christensen. No, that's Trayvon. Sorry, not Phillips, Trayvon. Zender to the middle. Oh, McCann got a stick on it just barely. Not a goal there. Just pushed to the side by the goalie right at the last minute. Trayvon dumps it, comes off the boards. Minnesota River takes it to the side, and they're able to clear. Roscoe will pick it up in the neutral zone. Sends it up to McCann. Can't quite hang on. Minnesota River gets it back. Minnesota River gets it out of the zone. They try to clear it. Goes off of Holmes, but they pick it back up. Zender steals it. He's got the edge on the defense. Shot off the goalie. Christensen picks up the rebound. He will skate around, has it stolen, knocked free. Gets the loose puck back. He'll bring it into the zone. Has space. His shot between the goalie's legs. It is now tied. (1-1), 9:10 left in the second period. I believe the power play had expired prior to that shot, but regardless, goal for Mankato. Nielsen off the face-off, knocks it, gets his own pass. His shot deflected and covered by the goalie. Nielsen, Liam, Holmes, Graff, and Casper. Minnesota River clears. Gonna come all the way back, and that'll be an icing call. Minnesota River is able to clear. Back to Casper. Casper brings it back in. Stolen by Minnesota River. Casper with it in the corner. Passes across. Oh, good pass. Just couldn't connect. Had Moss wide open. Good idea. Coming back to Young. Young pushes down to Phillips. Phillips in the corner. Passes it to the middle. Moss is there. His backhand covered by the goalie. We'll bring on Zender, McCann, Frederick, Raska, and Christensen. Raska's shot off the goalie's, the defender's skate, comes back to the boards. Zender coming to disrupt it. McCann gets a stick on it. He can't get all of it. Taken back by Minnesota River. They'll reverse it back behind the net. Christensen gets there first. Back to Minnesota River. Raska keeps it in. Loose puck out front. McCann gets a stick on it, comes back to the corner. Zender and McCann work for it. Puck pops out, back to Minnesota River. They'll fling it off the boards. Raska keeping it in. Zender sends it to the middle. Goes off a defender's skate into the goalie's glove. .651 left in the period. Ref having some fun with the squirt team down below. Acting like he was going to kick him out after he shoulder checked the glass to scare him. Minnesota River clears. Back to Casper. Casper across the neutral zone. Casper's shot deflected up and over the net. Minnesota River picks up the loose puck right in front. Their pass just long, back for an icing. 6:10 left in the second period, tied up 1-1. Young, Phillips, Moss, Raska, and Christensen. Raska's shot in just over the goalie's glove. Second goal of the game. It is 2-1 Mankato. Roska to Phillips. They can't connect. He's back to Minnesota River. Mankato gets a stick on it. That's Young. He sends one wide of the net. Comes back to Phillips in the corner. Phillips sends it back behind the net. Moss chases it down. He reverses it back behind the net again to Phillips. Phillips to the middle. Off the defender's stick. Minnesota River now charging. Roska steals. Loose puck in the neutral zone. Nobody's going to catch him. That's Roska out front. His shot. Goalie save. Goalie glove. 5:10 remaining in the period. 2-1 Mankato. That shot off the defense. Rebound shot off the leg pad. Frederick, good hustle, knocking it free. Back to Minnesota River. Loose puck picked up by Graff. Graff sends up to Casper. Casper has it stolen. Stolen back by Casper. Will reset. Casper makes a move through the middle. Knocked free by Minnesota River. Casper to the middle. Shot by Frederick. Into the goalie's glove. Goalie thought he had it in his glove. Rolled over. Puck's laying on the ice. Rolled back over for the cover. Zender, Frederick, McCann, Roska, Christensen. Roska, hard shot. Deflected by the goalie. Frederick picks up the rebound. His shot covered by the goalie. We keep the same 5. Goalie covers. Zender over to Frederick off the face-off. That shot goes wide. Tried to pass back. That'll go all the way back. Roska. Passing up to McCann. McCann tries to pass it across. Nobody's there. Minnesota River keeps it in. They'll send it to the corner. Frederick steals. Gets it out of the zone. Minnesota River's pass is stolen by McCann. McCann out front. Shot in the 5-hole for a goal. 3-1 Mankato. 3:29 remaining in the second period. Liam Nielsen, Holmes, Graff, and Young. Nielsen sends it to the corner. Minnesota River back behind their own net. They pass up. It'll bounce off the boards. Graff chases it down. He goes off the boards back to Minnesota River. They clear it. Graff picks it up. Sends it up to Nielsen. Stolen back by Minnesota River. Nielsen's able to get it out of the zone. Minnesota River picks it up in their defensive zone. Holmes chases it down. Puck loose in the neutral zone. Knocked free. Minnesota River's shot stolen by Liam. Graf would stick on it to Holmes. Holmes off the boards. Here we go. This is Holmes. Stolen back by Minnesota River. Shot off of Young, I believe. Way to wear it. Minnesota River taking it to the corner. Their shot goes across the front of the net. And we get it out of the zone. Casper's there. Takes to the corner. His shot deflected up and off the glass. It'll come back to Minnesota River. Minnesota River will dump it. Roska goes back to get it. Passing it up to Phillips. Phillips across to... Oh, I think that was Moss. Moss's shot off the crossbar. Bounced out. No goal. That was great passing by Mankato. Unlucky. Offsides. Shoot. 25.8 seconds left in this period. Casper fighting for it off that face-off, makes a move, his shot off the goalie, picks up the rebound, pops it up over the net. Back to Phillips. Phillips passes back to Graf. Graf sends in a shot off the goalie, or the defense. Defense picks up the loose puck, skates it all the way down. Their shot goes across the front of the net and whistle, or buzzer rather, for the end of the period. So end of 2, Mankato up 3-1 on Minnesota River. Start off the third period with Graf Young back deep, Frederick, Zender, and McCann. Frederick brings it into the zone, offsides. Minnesota River along the boards. Knocked free, comes off the backboards. Taken back by Mankato. Mankato clears. That's Trayvon out, Zender out front. Had Trayvon with him. Zender's shot off the goalie. Comes back to Young. Young off the boards. Back to Minnesota River. Minnesota River's shot wide of the net. Raska picks it up. Brings it out of the zone. Taken back by Minnesota River. Loose puck in the neutral zone. They're charging. Have it out front. Nice save by Dean. Taken back by Zender. Zender across the blue line. His shot off the goalie. And the goalie dives to cover. Early whistle. .13:31 left in the game. Raska, Christensen, Nielsen, Liam, and Holmes on the ice. Nielsen sends one in, comes off the defender. Comes back to Raska. Raska over to Christensen. Christensen back to himself off the defender. Okay, I didn't have the camera over far enough. I don't think Aiden or Christensen went to pass it and must have just came off his stick funny, but went right into the net. So own goal. At least that's what we call it in soccer. Not sure what we call it here in hockey. Maybe it's the same. But Mankato own goal. Just a poor pass went into the net. And I apologize if I didn't have the camera turned far enough. Graff chasing that down, gets his stick on it, knocks it forward. Casper now in the neutral zone, brings it into the zone, has Nielsen in the middle, works to the middle, wisely slows it down, passes it back to Young. Young's shot deflected. Puck's behind the net, loose in front, knocked to the boards. Minnesota River makes a charge. They come across the neutral zone. Young knocks it to the side off the boards. Phillips keeps it in, but knocked free by Minnesota River. Back to Young. Young off the boards. Stolen by Minnesota River. Minnesota River's shot off of Dean. We'll pick up the rebound and get it out of the zone. 11 minutes left. Up by 1, 3-2. That's Nolan up front. Nolan makes a move, knocked free by the goalie. Christensen across the blue line, works to the corner, slows it down, works back. We're going to get a trip here. There's the whistle. Defender reaching across for the puck, caught Christensen's leg. Sets up a minute 30 power play, 10:33 left in the game, up by 1. Zender back to Christensen. Christensen shot way wide, off the boards. Comes back, McCann chases it down. Stolen back by Minnesota River, knocked free. Trayvon doing a couple of times keeping it in. Coming back to Rosca. Rosca's shot off the skates of defender. Trayvon working for it in the corner. Minnesota River comes up with it. They'll send it off the boards. Christensen keeps it in. Christensen winds up his shot. Glove saved by the goalie. 47 seconds left in the Mankato power play. 9:50 left in the game. We've got Trayvon, Zender, McCann, Casper, and Graff. Minnesota River stealing. They'll work back behind their own net. They pass it up off the boards. Graff keeps it in, sends it back to the corner. Zender chasing it down, his shot off the goalie. McCann working for the rebound, but covered by the goalie. 19 seconds left in the power play. We'll keep Graff and Casper on the ice, but we'll switch out. We've got Young and Phillips coming on with Moss. Graff sends in a shot, didn't get all of it. Slow roller, bounces back to Young. Young's shot covered by the goalie. 11 seconds remaining in the power play. Young back to Moss. Moss to Graff. Graff's shot goes wide. Back to Phillips. Phillips sends it to the middle. Young's shot covered by the goalie. Gosh, this goalie's having a heck of a night. All right, we'll get a change. Christensen and Rosca coming on. Moss, Young, and Phillips stay on. Minnesota River's full strength. Christensen with it, works to the corner. Back to the boards, reverses. Skating around, has it stolen. Yep, we're getting a penalty coming here. Collision with Christensen. Christensen reached out, won that battle, and pushed him down. Might just be a case of inertia there. Regardless, sets up penalty kill for minute 30. Graff, Casper, Frederick, and Zender are on for Mankato. Shot covered by Dean. tried to clear it. Couldn't. They pass across ice. Backhand comes to Graf. Graf gets it. Has it stolen by Minnesota River. Their shot, pass to the middle. Their shot goes wide. Casper now splits the defense. Ooh, thought it was out, but it's not. It's still in. Their shot, covered by Dean. Well done. 57 seconds remaining in the power play. Or penalty kill, rather. Can and Moss come on. Minnesota River still in control from the blue line. Shot goes wide. Graf sends it to the corner up to McCann. McCann across the neutral zone. Works his way to the outside. Has some space. Oh, had Moss in the middle. Couldn't connect. Moss goes to get it. Sends it to the middle. Deflected by the goalie. 28 seconds remaining in the penalty kill. Roska on the ice now. His shot goes off the boards. Moss chases it down, stolen back by Minnesota River. Minnesota River able to skate it out of the zone. They pass up, but not before an offsides. Seven seconds remaining in penalty kill. 7:17 left in game. Up by one, 3-2. Young off the boards, gets it out of the zone. They bring it back in for an offsides. Mankato's full strength. Young brings it back behind the net. Off the boards. Moss chases it down. Minnesota River now in control. Casper. Knocked free by Minnesota River. Puck comes back to our defensive zone. Graf is there. Graf sends it forward. Finds Phillips. Phillips across into the zone. Makes a move. Has it just a little long. Loses it. And goalie's able to cover it. 6:09 left in the game. Moss, Zender, Phillips, Casper, and Graf. Phillips back to Graf. Graf sends in a bouncer. Goes wide of the net. Moss is there. Skates behind the net. Sends it to the middle. Deflected by Minnesota River. They'll skate it out of the zone. Graf pushes up against the boards. Gets his stick on it. And knocks it forward. Back to Minnesota River. Zender picks up the loose puck. Brings it in the zone. He has a space. Goal. Four to two. Zender with the goal. Nielsen, Liam, Holmes, Raska, and Christensen. That shot was deflected by Dean. Offsides. Nielsen comes up with it. Knocked free by Minnesota River. Knocked free by Holmes, but back to Minnesota River. Raska working for it, knocks it free. Minnesota River dumps it to the corner. Raska chases it down. Skates through the defense, brings it out of the zone, passes over to Young. Young into the zone. His shot just wide of the net. Comes back. Graff is there. Knocks it forward to Liam. Stolen back by Minnesota River. Puck's still loose in front. Graff knocks it free. He's taken down. Dude's hanging onto the stick. No calls coming. Christensen's pass deflected, but Young's able to come back and get it. Knocked free by Minnesota River. Casper streaking across, keeps it in the zone, makes a move in the center. Backhand, covered by the goalie. 3:30 left in the game. Young sends it back to Frederick. Frederick to Casper. Loose puck, knocked out of the zone. Graff finds it in our defensive zone, passes up to McCann. McCann has it knocked free, but keeps it in the zone, passes across to Casper. Casper has it knocked free. Loose puck in the corner. Casper still in control, passes back to Young. Young swings around to Casper. Casper's shot blocked. Rebound picked up by Minnesota River. Mankato getting the stick on it, keeping it in the zone. Tried to clear, Raska keeps it in. That shot deflected by the goalie. Minnesota River brings it out. Cross ice pass off of the skates. Picked back up in the neutral zone. That shot deflected to the side by Dean. Off the boards by Raska to Frederick. Frederick will dump it just on the wrong side of the red line for an icing. 2:20 left in the game. Ooh, good pass to the middle. Their shot just wide. Puck ends up on the stick of Raska. Raska's pass goes off Moss's stick. Moss will chase it down, loses his footing, goes down, stolen by Minnesota River. Comes back to Christensen. Christensen passes over to Raska. Raska's shot blocked by the goalie. Moss passes to the middle, stolen by Minnesota River. Minnesota River able to get it out of the zone. Christensen with it. Gets it out of the zone, passes over to Zender. Stolen back by Minnesota River. Minnesota River will dump it for icing. Minute 12 left in the game. Casper shot, goal. Casper with a goal, 5-2. Casper still bringing it up. Still with it, passes back to Nielsen. Nielsen's shot deflected. Graff will bring it behind the net. Reverses up to Nielsen. They can't connect. Puck comes back to the corner. Casper splitting D, has it out front. His shot, goal. Casper with another shot, deflected. Frederick with the rebound. That's the end of the game. It is 6-2 Mankato. Have a good rest of your Sunday.